We would have been twinsies.
Because you just wore yours.
That's okay.
Y'all are so
I'm just kidding.
So proud of Houston.
Man, it's just one of those things that a Dallas person would never get.
First of all,
even if I broke it down for you, you just wouldn't understand.
I lived in Houston for years. Okay, they don't know what zoning is. All right, I was not impressed.
Yeah, it's there's no zoning.
Zoning is a minor issue. What state? Where are you at, Anna?
In Georgia.
That's
You're
right.
in Georgia. Okay. Do you guys have zoning laws?
Yes.
In Georgia?
Yes.
What did you say?
I said civilization. Sounds like a place.
You can build things.
Is that a Georgia peach joke?
No, that's a Houston joke.
Oh, gotcha.
She's ribbing on Houston.
Yeah, she's just ripping. And that's what people from Dallas do. It's just what they
Hey,
do.
Facebook.
Change the subject.
Anyway.
Hi, Facebook. Welcome. We're about to get started. Okay.
Awesome.
Anything else before I get going? Y'all ready? I guess I should record.
Ready to go.
Recording might be something that we want to do. All right. Here I go. Hey everyone, welcome to Real Women Real Estate. My name is Eboney.
I'm Kimberly.
And I am Courtney Harrington.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Do last names today.
Just a little something.
Yes. So welcome everyone. We have a super special episode. I think you're gonna enjoy it. But we gotta give you a quote of the day. And today's quote is, if you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait until you hire an amateur. And that is by Red Adair. Whew, that's true, man. You gotta pay to play.
Boom.
You gotta pay like you weigh. I like it.
Pay like you weigh. Also, guys, we just gotta acknowledge that today is what, Courtney?
It is International Podcast Day. Who knew?
Right. So
they keep making up new days. When did this start? Because podcasting's been around for how long?
You know what? I went on Instagram and it's actually been going on a couple of years. So we're just behind the curve there. Yeah. Because you can actually put the year on there. International Podcast Day 2018, 2019. So
2000.
So we're just gonna use this. We're just gonna use this as an opportunity to thank everyone for listening to Real Women Real Estate and celebrating National Podcast Day with us. So
awesome.
Okay, so let me introduce our special guest for the day. Her name is Miss Anna Iverson. And Anna is a native of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area and currently resides in the Peach State of Georgia. Her 28-year portfolio of professional experience includes 20 years in the banking, finance, auditing, fraud mitigation, along with 10 years in the real estate industry, which includes realtor, loan originator, processor, underwriter, and anything else real estate. Just cover it all. She left the banking industry 4 years ago to pursue another leg of real estate and become a licensed commercial appraiser for the county government. She continues to grow her partnerships in her businesses, in addition to adding her consulting firm, Black Consulting. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us, Anna. We really appreciate someone with such a robust resume taking the time.
Well, thank you for having me, ladies. I've been watching you guys for some time, so I find it an honor to be on here with you guys, truly.
Oh, man.
That is awesome. That just warms, it's a surreal moment, right? Ebbs, it warms in my heart, honestly.
Yes. I'm big grinning right now. I'm cheesing. So, Anna, we just kind of went down a high-level overview of your career, but can you tell us how you got started in real estate? Like, is this something that you found or did it find you?
To be honest with you, I found it. I found real estate. I was a stay-at-home mom for a moment because I just had my daughter. I was in the medical field, and me being at home allowed me time to be able to look at different things that possibly I can do. What was going to be my new chapter? I'm now a mother. What things are going to challenge me? Not that I wasn't challenged in the medical field, but then I had to look at what it was around me. And what piqued my curiosity was the real estate industry, the boom, the start of it, the movement of it, and then also being a homeowner and, picking a house, have a realtor, go to closing, move in. I wanted to know all the elements that went into making that moment happen. And then just being hungry and having all of my family members being homeowners, from my grandmother to my aunts to my parents. And so I found it. I went and I looked for it.
I love it. You said you was hungry. You wanted to get what was yours. That's what's up.
Absolutely.
What accent? What accent is that from? What city is that? I love it. What is that from?
DC. Born and
That's
raised.
DC. That's
Born and
born.
raised.
Okay. All right. Go then.
It's a little bit of probably a southern twang in there. My mother, she was born, well, my mother's family is from the south, so I have probably a little bit of a twang, but definitely DC. I still claim it.
All right. We'll touch on that a little later. We'll quiz you on that.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. See if you know these go-go songs.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
So I guess the question would be like, out of everything that you've experienced in real estate, all the different real estate lanes you've been in, which one has taught you the most, and what has it taught you, and why has it been so impactful to you?
I would say first and foremost would be the processing and underwriting aspect of real estate. Because definitely, if you know the moving parts that can make or break a deal, it'll make you appreciate it differently. It'll make you go for it. And so processing and underwriting taught me a lot. Those T's that need to be crossed, those I's that need to be dotted, be it if it's your credit, be it if it's your income, your debt to income ratios, be it if it's, are you want to be on this loan with your spouse who you may have a 720 score, but they may have a 620. How's that going to affect you? Because now that person can't be on the loan that you need. You have to stand on your own to be able to get it. The underwriting aspect, being able to go out there and know what information that the person that's going to give you the money, what they're looking for, which in part is why I created my business and I started my business, Block Consulting, because of the underwriting and processing aspect of it. When I got into real estate, I want to be able to help people build their businesses because I've been on the other side of that desk and know what they're looking for. As a personal banker, I saw it all day long. So most experience will be underwriting and processing for me.
That's so funny you say that because my broker, he preaches not only get your real estate license, but get your NMLS license, right? So that you're able to write loans. And he's like, that's going to separate you from every other realtor in the game. If you understand exactly how that transaction is written and you understand what's going to make and break that transaction, it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Game changer to be able to understand that and be able to educate your clients on that. So, Absolutely. I have heard that so many times, and another realtor in the office recently got her MLS license, and just the ability to be able to do both. Just to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to take you and help you out on this, write up the loan, but I'm still going to be a realtor because I'm still going to list and sell homes, not muddy the waters with buyers, but it just, it gives you so much income potential if you're able to do that. So yeah, it's definitely something that has crossed my mind from an understanding standpoint.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I actually started in the industry as a realtor. And so when I started as a realtor, I went to school. It was right up the street. Like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom. So, hey, can you watch the baby for a couple of hours while I go to class, And when I transitioned from a realtor and actually went into the loan origination part of it, it helped me understand it tremendously. I can speak the language. I understood the lingo. And like you said, I was able to educate my buyers when they came and they sat in my office with me and telling me, hey, I'm with this realtor. They can't give me much information. Can you help me? And it was one of the biggest takeaways as a loan originator and moving over into processing and underwriting. So I'm glad you did bring that up because it does help you, and your customers will appreciate that. Because I went to every one of my closings. I sat at that table with each and every one of my closings. And if they had a question, they looked at me to be able to answer it because they knew I was knowledgeable about so many aspects in real estate.
I think that's key. So I want to just ask one off the cuff questions. What made you kind of leave that realm and go a different direction from realtor?
From realtor to loan, the change in the market.
Well, and then because now you're not doing loan originations anymore. So what made you kind of make that shift?
Hungry, still hungry, belly still not full, wanting to know every aspect of real estate. Because the leg on what I'm approaching now is the development side. I have partnerships right now, and so with my partners, I want to be able to be that one who know what the developers are looking at. To be able to go in and build my own multifamily residential community, my own apartment community. And so having all those things under me and doing what I felt is master it, I found it necessary to say, okay, I need to put another set of lens on to be able to dissect this and understand it, because I don't want to pay somebody all the time to tell me what I need to know to make an investment in my future. I want to be a millionaire. So if I want to be a millionaire, I have to reach from and have millionaire goals. And so with me having those goals, I have to be able to climb and be able to step on everything I can in order to get there and gain the knowledge that, I have now as a commercial appraiser. I did residential. Commercial excites me.
I think that's the next level.
Yes.
It's a whole nother level. It's so intimidating. So go ahead, Eb.
No, I was just gonna say I think you gave me my quote. you said you got to step on everything, to get that knowledge, and that's so true. And I'm glad to see that it's paying off for you in this new space.
Yes.
One of my questions would be that, we talk a lot about business here, and I know it's something that you seem quite passionate about, but can you talk to us about the importance of business credit? And can you give some real life specifics of clients that you've helped do better in business because of you being able to help them establish business credit?
Sure, good question. The first question you asked, the importance of having business credit. There are two lanes there. It's personal credit, and then there's business. With your personal credit, you have a social security number. So that's everything from the time you were born up until the time you pass away. Your business credit gains its birth when you start your business. And so your business has its own social security number. So when you have business credit, it's important to be able to separate the two, because in the scenario that I had earlier, where you have a husband and wife, both of their names are on the mortgage, but now the wife wants to start her own business and she's looking to go and establish credit, and she's asked to be a personal guarantor. Well, guess what? She has her personal credit that's going to affect what she can do for her business. That loan that she may be able to get, the grants that she may be able to take part in. Because again, without business credit, some of these government grants, you can't even go online to try to get any information about it, because you haven't gone or taken the proper steps in order to establish business credit. When you establish your business credit, it's a confusion about having trade lines and vendors. Some people go on to YouTube and look up the quick way of being able to establish business credit, yet they walk into a bank and they use their EIN number in order to establish a bank account. Well, your EIN is for the IRS. That's not tied to your business, because when you try to apply for a loan, you're using your EIN number. Guess what I've seen on the other side of that desk? You're going to get declined because you haven't shown them that you have established business credit. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes. And tell us, how do you establish business credit for those who don't know?
Well, at Block Consulting, that's part of what I do. The first thing is I establish your business for you, meaning that you determine whether or not you want to be an LLC, a sole proprietor, or if you want to be a corporation. The second step in that is going to what is called Duns and Bradstreet. There's a certain model that they're looking for, a paydex score and everything else that they look for. And if you don't have the first set up correctly, when you go and you try to establish that social security number, for lack of a better word, for your business, then when they set up everything for you and give you that social security number, if you have errors when you first started, those errors are going to be on that profile when you set it up. The second part of that is when you are going in and you're establishing your social security number, just as when you were 18 and you said, hey, I want to be able to get a credit card, or I want to be able to go get a car. More than likely, you'll get qualified for that credit card before you get credit for that car. So with your business credit, you can start a little small, but have your eyes set on what it is that you want and what you're reaching for, because you're going to have to either establish those trade lines, you're going to have to be able to have established business credit, and being able to use it when you need it and not just using it frivolously to purchase things that are not going to benefit you and your business.
I think that's helpful. I'm going to tell you what people are going to say. I can do this on my own. I don't need to pay. I'm not paying to have this done. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to watch what I need to do, and I'm going to set this joint up myself, and it's going to happen. You know, talk about why this needs to happen from a professional and the advantages of having this done by a professional, because I know the answer, because you really don't know. You know what I mean? You really don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's what people are going to say, and I'm not going to lie to you. That's some things that we talked about business credit on the show before. And that was one of the things that I thought in my head. Okay, I'm going to look this up on my own.
Right.
And I'm going to kind of skirt around. But I realized that another thing is you just don't do it. You don't make the time. But if you pay for it, that's going to motivate you. But you speak to it.
But that's better than I can. That's also why the quote was relevant.
And I was getting ready to say that Eboney put it right there. You get what you pay for. You're being mindful of what you get for free and what you feel is out there, because if you're getting in 100 million other people are getting it, and guess what? 100 million other people not doing what you're wanting to do, right? And so, yeah, you can go online and you can go to YouTube, but you know what you're getting? You're getting information for vendors, Quill. You're going to have a whole closet full of paper towels how's that going to benefit your business? But that's a vendor, and you feel that you're establishing credit. Well, that trade line may be only $500. It may be only $1,000. What are you going to get with that? So yeah, you can go online and you can look at these tutorials, which is good. It gives you some knowledge. But when you want to take it home, that's when you pay for a professional. That's when you call block consulting, because I have the breakdown of what they're looking for and how to set up your business to be able to get you your credit. Knowing the difference between you starting out as an LLC and as a corporation, and what if it determines whether or not you're going to get $1,000 or if you want to get $850,000. Paying a professional, the professional is skilled and trained to be able to know from beginning to end to get what you need. Again, at Block Consulting, one of the first things I do is that I interview my clients. Tell me about you. Tell me about your business. Tell me what your goals are. And when you tell me what your goals are and you tell me what you're looking for, then I, as the professional, need to go out there and make it happen. If you're doing it by yourself, you may be doing it part-time. You may do it when it's convenient for you. And there may be some things that you may miss that are going to be important in being able to establish that business credit.
Okay. Go ahead, Ed.
I was just going to go just a little bit off script. And can you give some applications of how you use business credit in a real estate setting, like for real estate investors? Like what applications would a real estate investor want to use business credit for?
Well, I have clients that are in the real estate business, IT, trucking, and everything else. So from a real estate standpoint, or as a realtor or as an investor, what is the driving force in that is being able to have that capital and not having to use your personal credit in order to get that $100,000 that you may need to go into a partnership with other investors. It minimizes you having to go to 6 and 7 different sources to be able to get money to show that you're worthy of the loan that you're looking for in order to be able to build that development. So that's why my company has 3 different legs: the setup of the business, the credit for the business, and then the marketing and branding of the business, no matter what industry you're in. So for the real estate leg, it's for those who, I mean, some realtors are wanting to take the time, they want to be able to purchase a vehicle in their name or be able to use it as a tax write-off. Well, if you have your business set up appropriately in the way how I set things up for you, and especially with the advice of an attorney or a lawyer to be able to look over things for you, because I don't profess to go in that lane at all, but they'll be able to help you along with me to be able to get those tax write-offs and those benefits. Because you think Donald Trump, sorry to bring his name up, but you think about it. The man didn't lie about one thing, and that he's never filed bankruptcy. His businesses did. That's the one honest thing that he's ever said. And it's the way that his business was set up. And he's in the real estate game, and he's still able to make money. Make sense?
Yes. I think we
No,
brought him
totally.
up. Kim had a reaction.
Did the name bother you?
Yeah, no, totally. No, totally. And that's one thing I was saying. I was telling my uncle this today. I was saying, you know what he did is something that it's not his fault. It's the system. You don't like what he did, change the laws.
Period.
You don't like what he did, change it. It's not his fault. So I'm just kind of like, on the real, how can I get like him? You're not going to change it. If you're not going to change it, why should he be the only person benefiting from it? That's all I'm saying. So no, I like that. I think I can appreciate that. And I was going to take it one step from what Eboney said on the real estate, but just kind of setting up, what is your advice to somebody? I'll kind of look at it like our audience, kind of start out realtors and investors. But what if you're an investor and you're just trying to get your feet wet? You don't have a whole lot of assets or capital yet, but you have a team and you're ready, right, to build, but you don't have the funds yet, right? But you don't necessarily want to go the hard money lender because the resources are there, right? But you want to set up your business so that you're ready to go. What do you advise? Do you advise going like a LLC route, or do you advise going corporation route? What's your personal preference on something like that?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Courtney, I don't get into telling my clients how to do it because, of course, with corporations, you have options there, being able to be taxed once or being able to be taxed twice. If you start out as an LLC and then later on want to become a corporation, there's going to be some challenges there. So for someone who's new and getting into this industry and getting into wanting to invest, I have my own PPE, and that is you need to plan, you need to prepare, and you need to execute. You need to know what industry you're going into. You need to find the value in that industry, and do you add value to that industry? And when you provide value in that industry, then you have to think of what are your fixed assets? What do you know you need to pay for? Because when you go down that road, then you'll be able to see what you yield on the back end. And if it's zero, then you might need to rethink even before you get to prepare. You have to plan it. And so you can have a team, but your team should be sitting there diligently waiting for you to make the right decision for everybody. Because sometimes when you have a team, you have some that want to jump out there prematurely saying, oh, I got it, I know what to do. But you didn't plan. You just saw preparation of what somebody else did and you execute. And then that's when you find out that it wasn't as easy as, say, the person who is a vet in it. And so for me, having the experience that I had for as many years as I had, be it in finance, being in fraud mitigation, being in loan origination, all of that, it still comes down to planning. For block consulting, I knew what I wanted to do. I had been doing it for free for years, but I myself had to sit down and write out a plan. Then I had to prepare my mind mentally. I had to prepare my pockets financially. I had to prepare my home for the transition. of mommy's not going to be able to be here with you when you get home every day because I'm going to be out networking. I'm going to be out doing things for the business and then executing it. And by all means, execution can be rapid and it can be slow. You just have to be able to know your industry, know your peaks, and know your valleys. So that's what I would tell to a newbie before they get out there and get in a situation where they're losing money.
That's great advice. That's stellar. That's spot on. There's nothing to add to that. That's done. So yeah. So I'll let Kim ask her favorite question. I think is coming up because that just you talking about that really just leads into your strategy.
Okay.
Yep, pretty much my favorite question.
On,
what is your current investment strategy and what does your portfolio consist of and what are you looking to do in the future?
My current investment strategy is partnerships. I don't go in taking on anything by myself. Two heads are better than one, two wallets are better than one. And being able to build my portfolio, I have more flexibility when I have partnerships. And so the way that I set it up is that I separate my cost investments and my income investments. I look at the growth of my investments with my partners. And so if my partners are wanting to do something where we get in and get out, then we get in, we get out, but we have to set it up to be able to know how we want to get in, what's going to be a minimal risk for me, right? Because even though you're in a partnership, you still have to assume your own risk and then a risk collectively. So that's my approach into investing. What was the second thing that you asked me for?
What does your portfolio look like currently? And what are you wanting it to look like? Like, are you buy and hold? Are you doing any flips or what is it that you're doing with or are you even more stocks? Like, what is your portfolio built out of?
Well, I do have stocks. I will tell you that I do have stocks. That's a personal goal of mine is being able to have stocks that I know that long term will be able to yield a return for me. So in stock market you have your shorts and you have your longs. I'm a long all day because I do my leg work to be able to say, hey, I know I can put my money there and leave it there. I do not go on and do day trading and check it every day.
Same. I love it. Same.
I don't do that. And then the other part,
I said the same, following Courtney, whatever she tells me to buy.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes going on those investor relation pages pay off, but aside from the stocks, I have partnerships in funeral homes. I have partnership in multi-residential homes, so 4 doors or more. I have 3 of those. I have 2 land projects that I'm working on right now. And in January, I'm looking to go ahead and start down here in the South. I'm looking to build a townhome community, not too big, maybe 5 acres or so. And then probably mid-year towards the end of next year, I want to be able to build my first apartment community.
So you said you're starting down in the South. Does that mean that your 4 doors or more are in DC?
Yes, ma'am.
Woo! Money. Okay. That's expensive, child.
It is, but you know what? I got in early. I'm going to tell y'all this.
Where are they located? Just question. Where?
In DC.
No, but like where in DC? I live there and so Courtney is very familiar. So just curious where they are.
Southeast.
Okay. In DC. I'm not playing these games in DC. We're not talking about Maryland. We're talking about Washington, DC.
We're not talking about the outskirts. We're talking about the heart of DC, and it really is the heart of DC. And I have someone, I think probably about 6 years ago, and he calls me randomly every year, and he tells me that his wife wants my property. I know what my property value is. It's over $1 million. Did I pay $1 million for it? No. And he asks me every year, what's your price? And I tell him every year, I don't have one yet, but when I do, I'll call you. But he calls me randomly every year. And then my business partner, he's military. One of them are. And he's military. And so I guess they try to reach out to him. And then I was the alternate. And so because I answer the phone, he keeps calling me. But we're not selling anytime soon.
DC, I'm jealous. Look, that's
Gotta
where
get
we
it
would
early.
love to have, you know, we would love to have investments up there. Just
Absolutely.
because of the military and everything. Like, you know, you always know the city is always gonna be money.
Yes. And then the one that I had in Northeast, that was closer to the time when my father passed away. That was something that he and I wanted to do together. I didn't hold on to that as long as I should have. It was right off of H Street. And so, you know, that H Street corridor down there, yeah, you got your mouth open because you know.
Ebony knows. Ebony recently went up there, and that's where I told her to stay, is over there. So
Yes.
she knows.
Street.
It was very
Absolutely. And so that property over there, I wish I would have held on to it a little bit longer, but you know, it wasn't the time. I don't think that I would have been able to do what I know to do with it right now. So that was a lesson learned. It wasn't anything hard or anything difficult about that. It was just a decision I had to make for the better interest of me and my daughter at that time. And so I let it go. But I wish, whew, but luckily I got some other ones. Luckily I have some other ones, so I'm good.
I love
Well,
it. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I love it, and I love how I've only been to DC once, but that's my second home in my mind. So I love I love how we all have this appreciation for DC. But just to shift gears just a little bit,
Okay.
can we talk advice? Because this is, you know, it's a real estate podcast. And we kind of cater to newbies. I am a newbie myself. So
me too.
what is yeah.
I don't claim to know it all.
We're learners.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
I know,
can't
right?
expect to know it all either. I'm still learning.
So but you have a lot of experience. And so what is your advice for newbies who are looking to get started in investing? Like, what would you say? I know you said PPE, which I think is great for you know, establishing a business. I think that's a great, you know, way to sum up how to get ready for a business. But what do you say for somebody maybe who's a step before that and who is just thinking about, hey, I'm interested in real estate investing. How do I get, you know, a property in DC? How do I find those four-door properties? What do you have to say along those lines?
For a newbie getting in it, Ebony, I would say the most important things that we need to know in life are in a book. That's where they lose you, is when it's in a book, right? So even if you get Real Estate Investing for Dummies, do I have the book? Hold on. Yes, Real Estate Investing for Dummies.
Oh, she went to the bookshelf. It's on now, y'all. Y'all know I love a book.
That is if you're curious about it, and to be honest with you, transitioning from a realtor to loan origination, I went and got loan originator for dummies because I wanted to be able to have that dialogue. And to be honest with you guys, when I sat in front of my first broker, because I picked the office that I wanted to go to, and I requested a meeting. I didn't go through any online and all that. No, I picked that particular office. I picked that particular company. And I went in and told the receptionist I wanted to meet with the broker. Of course, you know, you had to get jazzed up and stuff, so they'll, you know, entertain you a little bit. And we had an exchange. And at the very end, he said, "So what makes you think that I should hire you?" And I said, "Because I'm hungry." And you know what he told me? You know the lingo. You got to get the gab. But that right there is going to have it that you show up tomorrow at 9:00. Yes. And that started it. So reading that book allowed me to be able to have that dialogue with someone who helped me get my start in an industry that I am in 15, 18 years later. A newbie, read, gain as much knowledge as you can, know your craft, try to master it, and don't get caught up in what this person is doing and that person is doing. Sometimes it's okay being a bottom feeder, meaning that you go for that low hanging fruit that others don't even want to look at. When others are out, you know, when they're out on vacation during the summertime and doing all those other things, and then the wintertime come when those checks slow up, they don't, in DC, they don't want to go outside in the cold. They want to stay in the house. They got fat cat syndrome all during the summer, the spring and summer. Wintertime come, they don't want to go out. They want to stay in. I was that person that I was getting all of my eggs in a row. I was getting all my little squirrel nuts. And during the wintertime, I was still able to make money. My money was consistent. But you know why it was consistent? Because I read on how to do it. I mastered my craft. And anything that I was taught was just gravy on top of that. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say to a newbie.
Yeah.
And then get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get someone who is either on the same, if that was on the same journey, or has that experience that you can get information from them that is not biased, that's not tainted, that's not swayed in a particular way, but someone who can give it to you neutral and give it to you the way that you can receive it, you can take it in, and you can regurgitate it and make it your own.
Yeah. Okay, I got chills now. That's Courtney's line. Courtney likes to say she got chills, but I got chills. That was solid. I love that. And I love how, because you're right. And that's why I'm so pro books, is because the information you need is in a book. There was somebody before who didn't know it. They found it out and they took the time to put it in a book. So that's a great way for you to start. I love
Absolutely.
it. I would
Audible
just lie to-
University.
What'd you
Audible
say?
University. Audible University.
Yeah.
It's the
And
whole. It's the whole
YouTube
school.
University. Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah. Audible
Just don't be
University
trying
is
to-
where I'm reading books right now, man.
Yeah.
I like Audible University too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sophomore.
So I'm
We
excited to.
I was just gonna say we're trying to get Kim into Audible 101. We're gonna work on it.
I started her off with like a basics. I sent her an audio book on YouTube.
You did?
We'll try it again someday. But that leads me to
resend it.
oh my goodness. Okay, well that leads me to my favorite question, which is what books are motivating you right now, or what book has motivated you in the past? And maybe if you haven't had time to read lately, even on Audible, where are you drawing your inspiration from? What's keeping you motivated?
Let me see. The one that I just finished is How the Magic of Thinking Big. That one was a good one for me. That one's by David Schwartz. It was very informational, instructional. It motivated me. It's some things that I didn't think about. It made me, or even if I did think about it, made me think about it differently. I am still in the middle of a book by Warren Buffett that's called Invested. So, and we all know who Warren Buffett is. So anything that I can get from that, actually, no, it's about Warren Buffett, but Danielle Town is the author of that one. And then, of course, Never Split the Difference. Never Split the Difference.
Okay, still
Never Split the Difference is classic. Yeah.
That's classic.
Love it. Yeah, classic. Yeah.
Chris Voss, you got to read that. That was a referral to me, and I took it, and that's my Audible one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's giving you your sophomore credit.
I like it. Where can our listeners find you if they're looking for business credit, or they want to get started and kind of get that consultation rather? Where can our listeners find you and reach out to you? Or if they want to know if you want to be their partner, since you're into partnerships, and they want to know, hey, can you partner with me?
Okay.
Where can they find you?
So my website is www.block, and that's B as in boy, L as in Larry, A as in Apple, K as in kangaroo, .consulting. No .com, no org, none of that. I paid to be able to have it just that simple, because I wanted it to be indicative of my business, Block Consulting. And then also social media, Block Consulting also. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram. And on my website, it is an area there that they can go ahead and drop me a line with their contact information. And I would say for all of your listeners tonight, anybody that's listening in, if they refer real women, real estate, I'm willing to take 20 or 30% off of there. I would give them a free initial consultation, and I would give them 20, let's go to 30. I'll give them 30% off of my fee that I charge in order to give them the package. So just make sure that all your listeners know to put I said W, Real Women Real Estate. If they put that in the comments and that they were listening tonight, I would definitely do that for your listeners, and also to be able to help them, because I want for somebody to be able to come back and have a testimonial on your show about how, even tuning into your show was inspirational to them, but then they took the next step and they came to me, and being able to come to you and be able to say, hey, this young lady you had on your show actually helped me. So I want to be able to do that for your listeners tonight.
Yes.
Yes. So
And
that's
see, that gives me chills, right? That gives me chills because that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
There's a whole world out there of women that look like us, that are bossing up, that are doing incredible things, and we're just in a box and we're in a hole, and no one knows that we're around. No one knows we're here, and so that gives me chills, because that's exactly why we're doing this, to make these connections. Mm-hmm. And we had a post that just blew up on Instagram, and it's all about who you know. And so I just thank you for doing that. That's awesome.
And then it is true who you know, but I like to give shout out to you had a young man on your show, Derek Ziegler.
Yes.
You're who
young Zig referred you. Yes.
Absolutely. So I'm sure he's tuned in tonight, but I appreciate him. And actually he is one of my clients. And so, in whatever capacity I can serve in helping him get to that next level, I gave him that freedom of being able to say, hey, you need me, I'm going to be here in whatever capacity that you need under Block Consulting, because it is about, right now we're in a pandemic. We're in a time where it's not good for some, and not being, cognizant of what different households may be going through. But this is also an opportunity for individuals who want to start their business, who may have already started their business and looking for opportunities. Our interest rates are low. Mm-hmm. People are losing or leaving some of these commercial spaces where they stayed in there for 10 years and they were paying probably $1,100. Well, I can go knock on that same door right now, and because the landlord may be receiving zero, he may be willing to allow me to go in there for $700 if that was something that I wanted to do. So being able to network with people in different industries. He's in the technology industry, right? But I was able to be there for him. And so that definitely is key, what you said, and being able to help each other out and being able to be that leg to give that next person the opportunity to be able to see their dream and accomplish their goals.
Ooh, I love it. All right. So I know you probably are wondering what comes next. First of all, let me just say,
is it going to be rapid fire?
It's about to be rapid fire. But before I do that, I just want to thank you for just coming on and sharing your wisdom and sharing your expertise. This has been a solid episode of just knowledge. So we appreciate that. I wanted to say that before we get into some of the silliness.
I didn't hear that last part. What did you say?
I said I just wanted to say that before we got into some of the silliness. Just a little. Okay. Little fun.
You know what? You have me back, and we can talk about maybe delving a little bit more into appraisals or being a commercial appraiser. You guys said that's something that you want to get into. Being able to know that industry, being able to know zoning, being able to know what type of property that you'll look for. That's something that we can look to get into. So, I'm open for that. I know when Courtney and we talked initially, that's something that, piqued her interest. And that's something that I would want to share with you guys. Because to be honest with you, I'm the only minority woman in my department that is licensed to do commercial appraisals. And I don't take that as anything bad. I take it as a challenge, and I take it both hands and pull it forward and say, let's go. So I would definitely love to be able to share that with you guys and be able to help you on your next leg and getting out there in the commercial industry too, in real estate.
Yes, I would love that. I know we try to be respectful of time, but you have the type of career, we could probably talk for about 2 hours. It's still scratch the surface, but we definitely would love to have you on again.
Okay.
But in the meantime, it's time for Courtney's favorite part,
Okay.
which is rapid fire.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, it's good. Don't shake your hair, Courtney. It's okay. So, well, let me see if I can help in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just gonna throw just some quick questions at you. First thing that comes to mind, okay? You don't have to give like a politically correct answer. This is all Anna. All right.
Straight from the hip. Got it.
Straight from the hip. Okay. So the
Wait,
first
wait. You know you got to switch it up because she listens. So
she listens. I know.
You got to switch it up.
Hey. The one time I wanted her to stay right there, she didn't say nothing. She come right in and say, "Oh no, you got to switch it up, Eboney."
No, I got you. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
First question.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
Why you said that real quick? Why Prince?
Right.
From the hip.
Okay. So just off top. Okay.
Off the top, Prince.
Okay. Okay. Last meal that you can ever eat. What is it?
Collard greens.
Just greens.
Just greens.
No hot sauce, no cornbread.
Hot sauce is going to have to be there, and if we have some Jiffy, but it has to be the cake. It has to be thick, not that thin cornbread. I need for you to put your hand in.
Your voice can change a little bit. We didn't hit a nerve. Your voice can change just a little bit. So
meal, that'll be it. Some collard greens, some hot sauce, and some cornbread. That's it. I'm good.
It's gotta have some smoked meat in there though too, right? You smoke meat?
Nope.
No, you don't smoke. You don't put any.
The smoked turkey?
That's the difference, Kim. When you're from Texas and when you're from that east.
Well, you're talking about smoked neck bones or smoked turkey necks and all that. But
smoked turkey, something.
Some smoked turkey.
Some onions, some smoked.
Man, stop. The last meal though, so you gotta let that meat get in there, and you gotta get a little mix in there. So she said, "All right, think about quick some collard greens."
I love it.
I'm gonna let it go.
Let her make it. This is her rapid fire. Okay. Last question.
Yes.
Who would you have dinner with? Anybody dead or alive? Who would you have dinner with?
Barack Obama.
Okay. That's especially after last night, please.
Please and thank you.
Can he please just come? I'll make whatever he wants. I'll sit.
Wait a minute. Can I only have one?
Okay. Who else?
Who else would I want to have? You said dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
I just had this conversation the other day. Patti LaBelle.
Really?
Patty pies.
Because I want for her to cook for me.
Baby, that macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
She made that on Oprah in the 90s, and I have wanted it since then. I was a little girl. Still want it.
She walks around with her hot sauce, so I always know that I'm going to be in good company sitting with Auntie Patty. So Patti LaBelle is my other person. I just had that conversation with someone the other day, and I said if it was one person that I can sit down with, I want to sit across from her kitchen table and talk to her. And then you know what? Patty's past and her as a woman. Mm-hmm. And some of the things that she saw, not only as just, being Mama Patty, but her way of being able to communicate and cook, and that she's bad. She changed. She's a chameleon. She can adapt to an environment. I mean, look at her now, but look at her 5 years ago. So that's a woman that I would love to be able to sit down and have a conversation with and have some of them collard greens and cornbread with.
I love it. Have you read her book?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I read that. I was a little girl when I read that, but it definitely helped shape what a woman should be. Absolutely. And my daddy used to always say he loved Patti LaBelle because she wasn't afraid to get ugly when she sang, like when she made her face.
Yes.
So she's always
my first concert I went with her, she was in Atlanta. It was 1990, and she was in Atlanta. And she was with BBD because they were on the ticket. They were the hot thing back in 1990. And Patty got her limo, and she started driving off away from the stage, and we were out with the microphone in the limo, and she was still blowing like she was on stage. And everybody started chanting and screaming. Patty came back, and then she kicked them heels off, and she gave us another 45 minutes. That was heaven.
What?
Yes. That was
wow.
Heaven. Yeah, that was heaven. So that's my other person.
All right. Let me test your DC-ness.
Okay, come on, let's go. Let's go.
Favorite Chuck Brown song? Go.
Chuck. Chuck, baby, don't give up. Yeah, you know what that one is. Yes, ma'am. That'll get you rocking every time.
Get it going. Get it going. I like it. I love it. This is awesome.
That's
No,
all
I
you
appreciate it.
is go-go?
Hmm?
What about Ben's Chili Bowl? I mean, what's up?
Oh,
I mean,
Ben's? Oh, yeah, we know Ben's.
We know Ben's. Ben's next
We
door.
know
but
Ben's next door.
not there anymore. What else?
Exactly.
Okay,
We know
what
Ben's.
about the Danny's on H Street?
How about Horace and Dickie's?
Oh, absolutely. That's the best
Oh,
fish you can get all day long on Friday with that.
y'all got me
white
beat.
bread.
Let me mute myself. Y'all done got me beat.
When you said H Street, that's what I think of is Horace and Dickie's.
Horace and Dickie's, yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
That's it.
Y'all too DC for me. I before I left DC, I had to get some mumbo sauce and wings. So
Yeah.
So that's when you go to Danny's. You go to Danny's and you go in and you get 5 wings, but they always give you an extra one, and you have to get it with the mumbo sauce and your French fries in a brown bag with salt and pepper and a side of ketchup.
listen, now I'm hungry.
My husband is going to love this episode. He's going to love this. I can't wait to tell him about this episode. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Anna. We really, really appreciate you coming on. Like Ebony said, we could do this all day. This was so much fun and so informative and educational. And I just want to reiterate what you said. If anyone is looking to get their business off the ground, if they're looking to get their business running and they're in need of consultation, that Block Consulting will help them. We'll give them 30% off. And so if nothing else, go in for a consultation, get that understanding. And I encourage everyone that's listening in our entire audience to do that. And thank you so much again for doing that. I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming on.
Make sure
Full
you
circle moment.
mention Real Women Real Estate though to get that 30% off.
Now
Exactly.
that's 30% off the package.
Facts.
But I am going to waive the initial consultation fee. There's
Boom.
no fee.
Call for the consultation is free, y'all. Come on now.
Exactly. This is people. This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. This is generational wealth building. This is making that first step. This is when you're afraid and fear and you don't want to do it. And this is a way to kind of get in. Nobody knows. Call. Make that first step, get your business off the ground and get going.
Absolutely.
Let's do this.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. This was
Thank
great.
you. Okay. Bye.
Thanks, Anna.
Bye.
Bye.